Let's do that. Which means, folks, we're up to race 6, the Aldebaran Park Trot, and I don't have a huge opinion on this race, Jace. So the floor is yours. Race 6.
Well, before we get into race 6, I'll tell you what we should do.
What?
We might have a map for race 5. No?
Nope.
Did I throw it? No? Yeah, because I got too scared of. Yeah.
But you do have a stat for Hephaestus Phoenix.
Well, there's one coming up later.
Yeah.
These are almost the most extraordinary stats right across the meeting.
Right.
So
Hephaestus
Phoenix. Hephaestus.
Hang on, just give me a sec. Hephaestus.
How am I saying it? He was a god apparently.
Hephaestus.
I'm happy with that. He was the god of
Yep.
He was the god of
Tius.
Carpenters and sort of workmen, which I'm not one of. But
Hephaestus. All right.
it has. So have a look at these stats. Never
8 starts leading.
front,
4 and 4.
and all of the wins. 4 wins in total.
Yep.
We've got to say the name again, don't I?
12 starts for Duck Egg when not leading.
Never won. But let's follow that up because
I like how you've said there. Record not leading, 12 starts, no wins. Then in brackets, never successful, not leading. Just to reiterate for those who didn't pick up on the 12 starts for no wins.
As Einstein said, there is no limit to human stupidity. But it actually links well with Hazel Marshall.
Yeah, 10 starts.
Who's got a very similar situation going.
Very much. 10 starts in front for 7 wins and 1 placing. Record not leading, 11 starts, only 1 win and 5 placings. So basically here, between them, Bond, not leading, you've got 23 starts for 1 win and 11 placings. It's a very frustrating racehorse at that point.
Well, it just tells you how critical the maps are. My question to you is, you said you've got no strong opinion, but we'll call him Hef Phoenix, right? Hef Phoenix, just snoozer. In your opinion, if you had to go into the beautiful mind of that beautiful man, does he have a big enough opinion of Hef Phoenix? I'm very confident it finds the front. So Kian Zena begins quickly, but it'll want to hand up. The way it's going at the moment, it's going well, but I think it would hand up to either of the two. And Hef Phoenix begins.
Yep.
So I'm increasingly convinced, with that record in particular, he will keep the front, yes?
When you look at those stats, and I'm sure Chris would be aware of the stats. If he's not, he's seen this show and he's thinking, Jesus, Bond, I didn't realise that. All right, I'll be kicking up.
No, by the way, Snoozer, no need to take the Lord's name in vain. What are you saying, Jesus? But the only way you hand up is if you believe that Hazel Muscle, who went great guns in the Great Guns at the start, is twice the horse.
Exactly, and that's the bit I couldn't say that I don't. That's the bit I wouldn't rule out. I believe, despite the stats, that Hazel Muscle under that scenario would lead and would cross Hephaestus Phoenix.
In your opinion, though, and this is funny because Snoozer as an individual is quite a demure, quiet man. I've been told he's got a vicious temper if you get him going. But you don't think of him as being aggressive, but the way I see him as a trainer and driver, I think in these points he likes to find out. Are you reckon? Just go
with Hazel Muscle.
First up from a break.
First up, yep.
I don't think Hazel Muscle will blaze
for
the gate. So I reckon it'll take a few hundred metres before Hazel Muscle's even up outside of him. And then at that point, 16.67% of the race is done after, do you then just say, I'll tell you what, if you crush me, you crush me. But you're first up from a break. I'm not going to get this opportunity again, and we'll find out what we can do here.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
He got beaten by 1 overall. Was it a few starts back where he parked Olivici?
Not sure.
I reckon it was. And anyway, he got beaten by 1 overall, but he was happy to park Olivici
Yeah, actually, well, good point. Has he learnt more since then about
And
the horse? I don't know.
the other factor I'm adding in,
Mm.
supplementary, like Marto's races back in the day, supplementary.
Supplementary races. I forgot about those.
How they didn't fix the game, I still don't have any idea. We've had a crack, haven't we? He was very well backed. He began badly in that stand start last weekend, but he was well backed.
Mm.
So I believe the opinion's high enough that they'll have a go.
Okay.
And that means primarily we don't have to play to any wagering service provider these days. I would be laying, my number one bet in the race would be to lay Easel Muscle.
Yeah, good call then. That's good. Under that scenario, that's a great call because I think it'll be very short.
But if you want to back a couple, I'll be having Hephaestus. I reckon that's the closest I've gotten to Phoenix. But you know who's going to absolutely relish this scenario?
My top tip.
Is it like a train?
Yes.
Is it like a V-line?
It's a very impressive trotter.
The Locomotive.
It's a very exciting trotter.
He might only. The amazing thing is, Codes, first up from a break, bigger fish to fry. He might only be going around for a run, but the circumstances might play into his hands where he can win anyway.
Well, yeah, I think of course he can. I remember talking to Nathan after one of the maybe the Vic Bred semis or one of the nights when I was on the Trots Division. I think Nathan drove about 5 winners that night, and he had a huge opinion of the Locomotive. Had a big opinion, and this horse has done absolutely nothing wrong. 13 wins from 23 starts. What odds do you reckon it will open, Jace? Like the Locomotive?
I'm torn here because I've got an opinion of what he should open.
Yeah.
And it's quite disparate to what I think he will open.
Well, give me both. What do you think what would you have him open if you were doing odds like the old days?
I think this might be the one rate that sort of really did outline. Yeah.
Have you looked at the .org.au market?
Yeah, I think he's, what is he, $6.50 or something?
He's $6.50.
I would have him around $5.
Yep. I had him shorter than $6.50. I assumed he'd be much shorter, but
I think there's a good chance he'll start about 9 or 10. Well,
really?
Well, first off from a break, you got to follow the pegs. I think everyone will realise that he won't be closer than 3 poles in the run. I think they'll protect him from a place perspective on the price. But I think I don't want to give you false hope. I could be way off, but I'm thinking he's all muscle's going to dominate the market. A stack of percentage is going to be taken up by Hef Phoenix. Then you've got.
I don't agree. I think they'll open Easel Muscle very short, and I think they'll open the Locomotive short, and I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised by what they open Hephaestus Phoenix.
I'll 100% take you on here. That I don't believe that will happen.
Okay.
And you've also got to factor in, there's a few other runners they've got to give some market percentage to. You can't have Love Gun at 50 to 1.
Well, it's $9 no on this.
No.
Harry Stamper.
Loxley Lover, Harry Stamper, they're all going to take up some market percentage, aren't they? So it's not as though we think it's a 2 or 3 horse race, but from a market perspective, you can't just throw your hands up and go everything else at massive odds. So, but I will have 15 more bottles of Shiraz, and I'm disgusted you're not having another red wine tonight.
How did I lose that bet when I tipped that trifecta straight out, and that was my one collect on the game?
No, the 15 was about gone.
Yeah, that was my trifecta race.
That's great. We didn't bet any.
But I never actually said to you I'm going to bet 15. I never said. I heard you. Yeah. I heard you say it, but there's no way I would have said 15 bottles because I did say there's a chance she leads, but I didn't say she definitely would. And I ain't giving up 15 bottles of Shiraz easy these days.
All right, can we have 3 on this? The market?
No, you're too confident to. I feel like I've got that totally wrong now, but I stand by. I reckon that you could be surprised. I reckon they could open the Locomotive clear second favourite.
All right, 4 more races to go.